Hello, dear teacher and classmates. My name is Diana Arroyo. This is my ID card. I'm 24 years old. This is Introduction to Linguistics. I'm going to talk about the object of linguistic and language theories. Descriptive versus prescriptive focuses on EFL, English as a foreign language. And then I'm going to give a reflection and finally a conclusion. Let's continue with the topic. Alright, here we have prescriptive and descriptive approach. In English as a foreign language teaching, the distinction between descriptive and prescriptive approach to language is fundamental and significantly impacts pedagogical practices. The role of descriptive and prescriptive approach in EFL. Prescriptive approach. The prescriptive approach focuses on how language should be used according to established rules, grammar, syntax, and vocabulary. Here we have some characteristics. For example, role government. Teachers explicitly present grammar rules, and students are expected to memorize and then apply them. A focus on accuracy. Emphasis is placed on producing grammatically perfect sentences and avoiding errors. Clear guidelines. Provides clear-cut guidelines which can be particularly helpful for learners who need a structured understanding of language's foundational elements. Purpose. To enable learners to produce language that is widely accepted in formal settings, academic writing, professional communication, and to avoid stigmatist. For example, teaching students to avoid split infinitives, not to end sentence with prepositions, so these rules is often debated unless strictly followed in modern English, or to allow use I after a verb like be, it is a rather than it's me. Descriptive approach. The descriptive approach observes and analyzes how language is actually used by native speakers in real-world contexts, including both formal and informal varieties, regional dialects, and slang. It describes linguistic patterns without making judgment about their correctness. Characteristics in EFL: observation-based, focuses on the patterns and variation found in authentic language use. Acknowledge variation, recognize that language is dynamic and constantly evolving, and that different contexts call for different linguistic choices. Focus on communicative effectiveness, prioritizes whether the language effectively conveys meaning and is appropriate to the given situation. And purpose: to equip learners with the ability to understand and use English in diverse real-life situations, and recognizing that correctness can be context-dependent. For example, pointing out that native speakers often end sentence with preposition in informal speech. Who are you talking to? And that certain slang terms are widely understood and used within specific communities, even if they don't adhere to prescriptive rules. On the other hand, here we have my reflection on the impact on my perception of teaching, right? Initially, my perception of teaching EFL, particularly grammar, was heavily influenced by a prescriptive mindset. This stemmed from my own language learning experiences and the traditional emphasis on correct grammar in many educational systems. I believe that my primary role was in part the rules of English and ensure students could apply them without errors. However, over time and with experience, my perception has significantly shifted towards a more balanced and descriptively informed approach for several reasons. For example, authentic and real-world use. Students who were overly focused on perfect grammar might struggle with natural fluency and appropriate use in various social contexts, or motivation and confidence. An exclusive prescriptive approach can be discouraging for learners. The constant focus on mistakes can lead to anxiety and a fear of speaking, hindering their overall progress. Understanding language evolution. A descriptive perspective allows for discussions about language change and acknowledge the validity of different usages, fostering a more nuanced understanding of the language. Contextual appropriateness. The most significant shift has been recognizing that correctness is often a matter of appropriateness. For academic writing or formal presentation, prescriptive rules are undeniably crucial. Understanding of language use is necessary. Empowering learners by discussing both prescriptive guidelines and descriptive realities. I encourage critical thinking about language use. Finally, in conclusion, while the prescriptive approach provides a necessary foundation for understanding the structure of English, the descriptive approach offers invaluable insight into its dynamic and multi-phase nature. This is my presentation for today. Thank you.